Welcome back everybody to Civilization 6 on the Nintendo Switch. I'm sorry it's been a few weeks since we completed the playthrough, but we are back now with a scenario and we're going to be bringing these videos to you every week, hopefully. Well, it should be every week, Monday or Tuesday, half an hour apart. Although if you look on the time of this video, you'll be able to see this is not quite as long. So we're going to jump into a scenario today, and the scenario is currently available on the Switch version of the game. If you have all the DLC, so that's kind of Indonesia, Kema and Nubia, Conquest of Alexander. I should be able to pronounce Alexander because it is my name, so that was a cock-up. We have Gifts of the Nile, we have Jadwiga's Legacy, we have Outback Tycoon, Path to Nirvana, and Vikings, Traders and Raiders. And very fittingly, this is the final one of the options, and this is the one we're going to go for. So I decided to pick this one because I thought, frankly, it's going to be the most action-packed I'd like to believe. I think we're going to be able to do lots of cool stuff, such as invade England, and do lots of trading, pillage places. So this is why it stood out. And also the Vikings are pretty goddamn cool. So yeah, playing as one of them always kind of appealed to me. So before we go on and talk about what this scenario is exactly, let's just talk a little bit about how we're going to structure the playthrough. Like I said, 30-minute parts every week, Monday or Tuesday likely. If it's later on in the week, I'm sure you'll be able to accept it once or twice. And then also, I want to keep throwing decisions back over to you to kind of decide the strategy. We only have 60 turns in this scenario, so every turn counts. So throw over the big decisions, throw over a bit like bits of advice, maybe impose on the community post, we'll see how well this video does, and stuff like this. Obviously, all this is in preparation for Rise and Fall and Gathering Storm. We're just kind of keeping ourselves satisfied while we wait for them to come to Switch. So yeah, we are going to be playing today as Canute of Denmark, and that's basically because it's going to be the most interesting one off the bat. But you can also, if you like, play as Harald Hardrada of Norway and Olaf I can't pronounce that, Skotkonung of Sweden. I apologise if you're Swedish, I'm just crap at pronouncing things, bottom line. So we are going to be playing as Canute, so we'll go ahead and select him. Now, Canute has an extra military policy slot, can build the settler, Viking longship, missionaries and the harbour, but I'm pretty sure that's the same for every single one of these. Oh no. Harald Hardrada has slightly different ones. His naval units have +2 movement, which I imagine would be good for pillaging, but we are going to go for Canute, and we're going to probably try a cheeky invasion of England. Can you say that? A cheeky invasion of England? Right, anyway, so yeah, so our kind of unique bonuses. Vikings units ignore additional movement costs from embarking and disembarking. This is going to be brilliant for raiding. That's exactly what that's for. It's also going to be pretty good if we decide we want to attack somewhere and take it. So that'd be nice. We have the Berserker as well, which is our unique land unit. So Viking unit gets more movement. It's just a better unit. It's a very good unit, and I'm sure we'll get to know them very quickly in the playthrough. We also have the Viking longship, there we go, which is a nice unique unit too. So for this playthrough, we're going to go ahead and play an Emperor. I was going to go King, but I thought, I've got all these YouTube viewers to help me because I'm crap at the game. And to be honest, I just fancy a challenge. So we're going to go Emperor. It's 60 turns. We're going to go for it. If we lose, we lose. I don't care. We're just going to try and play an interesting game, and hopefully at the end, we'll win. And if we don't win, I'll throw a paddy and cry. Right, so while we wait for it to load, let's talk a little bit about a few more of the features and abilities. We'll go through these now. Oh, it's loaded. Very excited. So North Sea Empire, we have an extra military policy slot. I'm sure we'll explore that later on. We can build a settler, Viking longship, missionaries and a harbour. Sort of been through that. Again, ignore additional movement costs for embarking and disembarking. Wow, it actually tells us what the settler is. That's fascinating. Missionaries, Viking longships, Berserkers, I can't wait to use them, a harbour, and a stave church, which is apparently a unique building, which I imagine is a church. So the first thing we'll do here is we'll jump into the victory conditions and we'll have a look at them, just so you know what we're looking for. Okay, so we won't, because we have some inspiration. So we have an inspiration for feudalism, and we have an inspiration for military training, which, you know, wow, these are dreams come true. Okay, so let's have a look at the victory conditions. So I've not actually played this scenario before, I wanted to play it, one, because of how cool it is and because it's Vikings, and two, because I'm playing it blind. So all of this is very new to me. I have loaded it up before, that's how I knew that Denmark had the most kind of, the best starting position for what I wanted to try. So yeah. So I'll talk about the actual game victory conditions now, and then after that I'll talk a bit about what I want to do. So bring Europe under your rule as the mightiest Viking lord in this 60-turn scenario. We need to remember that 60 turns is not that long. Play as one of 3 unique Viking rulers. Yeah, we've been through that. We're Denmark. And we've got to pillage and raid his way through Europe, launch a naval invasion of England if we desire, conquer Paris or sail around Gibraltar, and raid the Mediterranean Sea. All of those things sound fascinating. Back home, build a merchant empire as you accumulate trade routes with the most profitable cities that you can, and if you find yourself following a religion, spread the good word and generate faith for your people. We will also gain faith in scenario primarily by pillaging holy sites, which is interesting. Monasteries and plantations. Each time you earn faith, your cities gain more pressure towards adopting Catholicism. Very interesting point in this period. The Vikings obviously went from being pagans to Catholics, so you know, very early on conversion. What year are we in here? 787 AD. I did study this as part of my degree, but I didn't sort of progress with medieval history, so all of this is kind of, I'm a bit rubbish at. So cities cannot be raised, traders and admirals cannot be transferred between cities, that's a bit different, and victory points are earned as follows. This is the crucial bit. So Empire, 25 victory points per city, and 10 victory points per population. So a few cities with big populations would be nice, although we've got to think 25 victory points per city is very good. We'll have to see how big. So I think the cities are pretty small as well. Yes, so it's not as if we're looking at cities of 36 population here or something mad like that. We're looking at cities of 2 and 3 populations. So still, at this point, having more cities is probably going to be more profitable than big populations. We'll have to see how it goes though. Obviously, if we can grow as cities, we will. Where are we here? So Empire, 25 victory points per city, 10 victory points per population. Prestige, 50 victory points for each great person. So yeah, any great person we can get would be great. Trade, 25 victory points per trade route capacity. Again, but we should really, if we were thinking about going around and conquering places, getting more trade routes, building harbours would be very good for them victory points, wouldn't it? So if we can, I don't know, my initial thought is to try and take parts of England. If we can do that and build harbours, that might not be a bad way of accumulating victory points. But obviously, if you've got more experience, let me know what you think. Pillage, 10 victory points per tile pillage, so pillaging obviously seems pretty profitable victory points. Well, oh my god, we have 1,000 victory points thing here. So Vinland, or Vineland, whatever, and 1,000 victory points if first to activate a Grey Admiral adjacent to Vinland. 500 for second, 300 for third, and 100 afterwards. Where the hell is that? Where is Vinland? This is necessary. Can we search here? I need to know what this is, because that is a stupid amount of victory points. We're talking about 10s and 20s, and someone's just thrown in 1,000. What is this? Oh, so okay, so where is it? It's a piece of land. Where on earth is this? It must be around here somewhere. Okay, maybe I will find that. We have to find that. Where is Vinland? Someone tell me down in the comments if you know, because yeah, that's pretty major. I will keep looking for that though. If nobody tells me in the comments, I'll research it, and at the beginning of the next episode I will come back to you on that. Hopefully I won't forget. I won't. Right, back up to that. So, yep, we've read that. Yeah, okay, so Great Admiral, yep. So religion, 50 victory points per faith earned from pillaging. Again, pillaging's looking very, very profitable here. Pillaging a tile when less than half your cities have the same religion. 50 victory points per population added when half or more, oh god, why is it so confusing? When half or more of your cities have the same religion. Okay, so 50 victory points per faith earned from pillaging a tile when less than half your cities have the same religion. Okay, and then 50 victory points per population added when half. Okay, so we'll just... Pillaging's a good thing, that's what we'll get from that. Bonus on the last turn, 1 victory point for every 10 gold in a Viking player's treasury, and 1 victory point for every 5 faith a Viking player currently possesses. So how much... You know, that shouldn't be major, but the more we pillage, the more faith and gold we're going to accumulate. And obviously that's going to help. So yeah, that's the victory point. Obviously, if you've got any thoughts and strategy regarding that, have a good think about that, leave it down in the comments. But before we do that, why don't we talk a little bit about what I really want to achieve in this, which is essentially to conquer England. We can't see most of it, but we know it's here. I want to conquer at least a big chunk of England if possible. Now that might not be the best way forward, but conquering England is just something I really want to do. Whenever I play as kind of when I've played games like Empire Total War, maybe not Empire, but more medieval, if I start as a nation up here or around here, conquering England is a really good thing to do. It gives you, you know, we've got some decent cities there. Our cities are only sort of 2 population. Adding a few more of them would be fantastic. Obviously, we'll pillage our way there first. But conquering England could be really good. If we can get England under our control, it gives us a fantastic opportunity to raid France. Can we go down to sort of Spain? I'm not sure how big the map is. But we can launch raids from England, even if we're just conquering England rather than all of it. So we'll have to see how that goes. But I think getting a real stronghold on the British Isles is a real big priority of mine. But yeah, I'll be interested to see what you think. Or would you rather go for somewhere like Utrecht and try and conquer that to kind of, you know, give us a foothold there? Let me know down in the comments. I will not be attacking anywhere today, simply because I want to see if anybody's got any thoughts and opinions like that. So, there are a few things we can do though. Let's look at our military force then. So as we can see here, we have the city of Thetford, or Tetford. You know, looks roughly where London is, although I'm presuming that's the Thames there. So, could be, I know Colchester's down south, that used to be the capital. But that is basically a southern city with a lot of power. And the one that it seems pretty blatant we should at least raid, if not destroy. Do they have a holy site? They do have a holy site. So as you can see, we looked at them victory conditions. Raiding that might be good, but taking the city is something else I would really like to do. So to do that, whether that be a raid or attack the city, we have some berserkers there. We have a berserker. Now these, interestingly, it's saying they only have 15 melee strength, but I'm pretty sure that's because they're at sea. When on land, they are stronger than the average unit. I think they have, is it 50 melee strength on land? We must check because this is important. Berserker. Okay, surely, yeah, there we go. There we go. So, yeah, 50 melee strength and 2 movement points. I'm pretty sure compared to their equals from non-Viking nations, they are stronger. So these are strong units that are going to be very useful for taking cities. Now we have 3 of them all ready to sort of land. And then we also have a Viking longship, which, you know, pretty decent for controlling the seas, but you can't take a city with it. So my suggestion would be, and I've never played this scenario through before, so I might be very wrong, is take that city and raid the holy site. So then we get the victory points from raiding the holy site, plus the faith, whatever. But we also get the city and a foothold in England. And as you can see, if we can get a foothold, there's plenty more cities to go at. We have that city up there. We have... why couldn't there just be one English city names I could pronounce? Wintancester, and we also, I can't pronounce that. And we can also see behind here we have another religious city-state. So there's plenty of cities to go at. We could also consider maybe raiding the northern coast of France, who is, you know, this is currently controlled by the Frankish. We'll have a look at the other civilizations soon. So yeah, what do we do with that force is one of the first things. But we also have other military units. We have an archer here defending our capital of Edens. We also have to think about Ribe, or whatever it's called, and the city here of Roskilde. These are our 3 home cities. We cannot be losing these. So we have to think. We'll have a look at what we can build in there. Should we have a look now what we can build? Yeah. Okay, shut up. Wow, actually, look. Yeah, wow, we can build a lot in this scenario, it looks like. The production costs don't seem that big. A harbour in 1 turn, base cost... Okay, maybe we've got some production stacked here or something. Because, you know, harbour 30 cost, we're currently making 9 production per turn. But still. Yeah. But still, you know, we're going to be able to build units at a pretty swift rate and build a force up. Is that in every city? I think that's the capital there. We have a spare trader, so we'll have to think about that as well. We have some units here as well. Okay. Again, yeah, all these cities seem to have decent production for the time period. We seem to be able to get units and things out quickly. Apart from this one, which has 1 production and is therefore crap. Modern day Copenhagen, I believe, if it's on the island, because that's the island Copenhagen's on. Denmark's modern day capital. So we're going to have to think about really what we do with this, because this looks a bit poor at this stage. We have... Is that being worked? I don't think a farm's... As a farm sort of looks like it's being built on that, yeah. So the tiles are being used. It's just obviously because of its positioning. It's got really poor production, which is a shame, but the other ones are fine. Grabbing some more production from a nearby city might not be a bad idea. But as you can see, we have a spare trader. We'll think about where to send that next turn. I'll leave that up to you if you've got any suggestions. I mean, that looks a pretty obvious, decent bet, doesn't it? Because it's an economic city-state. We have an archer, we have berserkers, but let me know what kind of things we should be building. I think if we can, we should be getting harbours where possible, and that's what I'd suggest. We are losing money at this stage. But we've got 2 trade routes. We build a harbour, we should get a 3rd trade route, get some traders up. That'd be my suggestion. And then sort of put the expeditionary force trying to make some inroads into England might not be a bad idea. But let me know what you think on that. Now, before we kind of end this episode, I know it's been a short one, but I just wanted to introduce the scenario and put it out there if anyone's got any suggestions before we jump into it. Let's have a look at our diplomacy. So, we're at war with the Caliphate of Al-Andalus. So, I'm presuming they're down in Spain or North Africa, somewhere like that. Because in this period, that's where... and the Caliphates were, I believe. But I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll stumble across them at some point. We have the Byzantine Empire, Basil II. Obviously, Byzantium further down beyond what we can currently see on the map. But obviously, the old Eastern Roman Empire. So it'll be interesting to come across them. Maybe we'll do some raiding. It's only 60 turns, so we'll have to see. And somebody we should be really, really concerned with. And somebody else we're at war with. As you can see, we're friendly with Norway and Sweden. We have an alliance, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But Charlemagne of the Frankish Empire, the legendary Charlemagne, I believe his name translates to Charles the Great. You can check that for me. We can't make peace with him. He's on our border, and he has probably a massive military because he has lots of cities. So, you know, really defending our homeland, defending our capital of Adense is going to be important. And that could be an argument for taking Utrecht, because if we can take Utrecht, we sort of give ourselves a bit more strength in this area, so we're not under threat from Charlemagne. So that's the current situation, and I'm very interested to dive into it. Should we have a look at these? So we've met all these people. I'm sure we'll meet more as we go along. We can now create trade routes. An unmet player has finished building the Alhambra. Well, we didn't have a chance to jump in and do that, did we? Civic boost of feudalism. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, we have discovered Europe. Incredible. Incredible. We have discovered Europe. Canute has declared war and pretty much... We've all declared war on everyone. Everyone's at war, as we just discovered. Oh my god, there's over 100 of these. I'm not going through them. I cannot be bothered. So before we finish, let's just have a quick look at the tech tree and civic trees. So we can go for apprentice. Surely we've got all these? Can we not build berserkers at this stage? No. We cannot build berserkers. We have to go and get the tech to build them, to build more of them. We have some already. We also have some longships already. But we've got to go for these straight away. So let me know what you do with that. I'd probably suggest going apprenticeship so we can build some more berserkers. They could be very useful. But let me know. And one final look at the civic tree, and that's going to take pretty much forever. So we'll have to see. How that goes. So that's that for now. If you have played this scenario, please let me know if you've got any advice. If you haven't, let's just jump into it and see what happens. Do you like the idea of invading England? It's kind of fascinating. But yeah, let me know. I'll be bringing another episode of this to you next week. Because we didn't get much done, I'll probably make next week's 30 minutes, 40 minutes long. So hopefully you'll be looking forward to that. I'm loving that Civilization is back on the channel. I've got some more expansion previews I'll be working on very soon to have a look at that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Civ content on Switch, both now and in the future. And I will see you in another video soon.